to this month's NEFA Member Spotlight. I am joined today by Marci Slagle from Bank Financial and Tara Aasand from LTI Technology Solutions. Thanks for joining me, ladies.
Thanks for having us, Jesse.
Absolutely.
And we are here today to discuss the NEFA Finance Summit that's upcoming in San Diego. So Marci and Tara are two co-chairs. So we wanted to kind of discuss the program and tell everyone who's going to be joining us, and for those people who are on the fence about coming to San Diego, why they should be joining us. So I guess Marci, then we'll go to Tara. Do you mind just introducing yourself and a quick overview of the organizations that you represent, please?
My name is Marci Slagle. I work with Bank Financial. I am the president of their equipment finance group. We work with all third-party lenders. We've got programs from small ticket all the way up to corporate and governmental. We have been a member of NEFA for about 3 years now, but have been in the equipment leasing third-party for about 20 years. We're very excited about this upcoming meeting, and again, how well the attendance is going for it as well. So looking forward to seeing you all there, and if you're not going to be there, get on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tara Aasand, LTI Technology Solutions, VP of Sales and Relationship Management with LTI. I've been in the industry though for just about 20 years, which makes me feel really, really old. NEFA has been a big part of my journey for sure. Back before when it was UAEL, I was the president at one point in time. And so this association's near and dear to our heart as an organization. Really excited about what's coming up here in a couple of weeks.
Excellent. Thank you for those introductions. And where do we stand today with attendance, for the event? And then kind of what can people expect, when they join us in San Diego?
I can jump in on that because I've got some of the numbers. We're about 320 for attendance. And quite honestly, because it's kind of a local show and we've got a lot of members there in the California area, we're hoping to bump that up another 30 to 50 people, which is really not unrealistic for historical meetings that we've had on the West Coast, because there's a lot of people that can drive in and get there shortly. Now we've got about 80 broker lessors, 125 funding sources, which is an awful lot. So you brokers and lessors should get there. 92 service providers, 11 non-members. So hopefully people that we're going to bring in, those by and large, a lot of times are brokers and independent lessors and industry partners. So we've got a pretty decent mix. I mean, I think our goal as an association was to get at least 100 broker lessors. So we're not too far off from that, but hopefully people that are watching this are going to get us our other 10 to 15 additional people that we need to get out there.
Yeah, and just to put it into perspective, the record for attendance, I think back in 2022 for the summit was 376. So I mean, I'm not saying it's anything to do with Marci and I, but I'm pretty sure we're going to exceed that.
Well, maybe
and of course our great conference committee too.
Maybe I knew someone who was one of those chairs of the other one. So if you guys end up at 375, I'm not going to be disappointed.
I watched the last one that you did for fall, and I think you said you were going to shut down the website.
I failed. However, it's not about me, right?
Right.
So I guess at a high level overview, between the opening and closing events and some of the speakers, besides the fantastic networking, what always draws me to these NEFA events, what else can people who are joining us expect?
I'll start, Marci. I think we have a pretty cool lineup this year. It's a little different than our normal format, where we kind of come in. We've got the golf outing for the Chris Walker Education Fund that does amazing things for our industry. We've got the first ever Black equipment finance mixer in support of the formation of that new association, which I think is awesome. And we encourage everyone to attend that. I think the kickoff event, karaoke and a fashion show with industry people is going to be odd and awkward and super fun. So I think just kicking it off, right? It's going to start off on a super fun, positive note, and I think it'll just set the stage for the whole conference. We've got, our keynote speaker, Greg Wooldridge, who was a former Blue Angel commander for 3 different times, which ties right into our theme of Highway Through the Danger Zone. And I think he'll teach us amazing things on high performance and teamwork and so on. Marci, if you want to speak to some of the sessions, I think those are some of the ththings that I'm super excited about.
I'm also really excited about the keynote speaker. Again, a lot, just so you know, a lot of thought goes into that. And thanks to the NEFA board that is able to help with that, and actually the employees that are there, because it's not easy to find the right person. And I think we really nailed it on the head with this one. We've also got a leadership flyby, which, not that I'm biased at all, I will be on that panel. I always learn something even when I'm on these panels. So I think we've got it, we kind of have spread it out a little. We have some different people on that panel this year, but I think especially just with the economy, what we're going through right now with all of it, it's very helpful to kind of see from a high level what people are looking at versus, you know, when they've got their nose in the books day to day.
Well, that could be like, that's a new twist on the CEO roundtable, right? So
yes,
it's definitely a little different. You're going to get some of the same information, but I think you're going to get a lot of different perspective.
Well, and I think we've done a good job at this meeting also of spreading it out a little, not having, again, kind of the same old people on there. Not that they don't all have something to offer,
Sure.
because it's always good, but it's just, you know, it's nice to hear different points of view. And I know that I'm excited not only to be on the panel, but to hear the points of view of the other people on the panel, because a lot of them are people that I'm not terribly familiar with either. And it's interesting to find out how they're running their business and what's working for them.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then as far as like the breakout sessions, any of them, I mean, I know they're all very informative. And then typically you have the, what do they call where you sit down with an individual?
Practical application labs.
There you go. Sorry. Sorry, Chad, Kale. Sorry, I forgot the name. But.
No, the practical application labs will have financial disclosure and operations. So I think obviously the financial disclosure, you know, we work with over 200 customers and it's pretty much come up with almost all of them on,
Sure.
And everybody has a different understanding and what do I need to disclose and how. So I think the more we share with each other, the better on that. I think it's created a lot of havoc in the world we're in right now. So that'll be
angst.
Yeah.
And I think, again, specifically in California, which is interesting there because they've got some of the roughest rules and things that we've got to follow.
The answer is just stop doing business there, right? Just don't work there anymore.
I feel like that's not the answer.
Well, I mean, actually, maybe it's just incorporate yourself in another state, but you know,
or be a bank. It's in your paper.
The economic overview, we have Elliot Eisenberg from Graphs and Laughs, and he'll kind of give us a perspective on the economy. And it sounds like he'll do some Q&A at the end, so give people the opportunity to ask some of their own questions. And then there are some good panels that we have lined up with some great panelists. Obviously more on disclosure, maximizing employee experience, credit. So I think that one's really some, you know, experts talking to how brokers can better package their deals and get things approved quicker, get better pricing, all of that good stuff. So
I think everybody's got to be very aware, and obviously something that with this rising rate environment, actually on one of our calls for this, it's not, you're going back to this, to the old normal. What we haven't been in a normal environment for a long time. But with these rising rate environments, it's sticker shock for everyone. I mean, I think from the banks all the way down to the small ticket lessees, you know, people that were getting a 3% rate a year ago, their rate's 10% now, and they can't understand it. And I think really, and Elliot Eisenberg will go a long way to kind of make that a simpler equation for us all to pay attention to. I was able to listen to him a couple of weeks ago too, and there were some things that I didn't realize were coming up, and we get a lot of that at the bank because we talk about it obviously on a weekly basis. And I think we're heading for at least 3 more rate hikes, so we all need to hang on our way through the danger zone.
There you go.
Right in there.
There you go. There you go. Well, there you go. And then as far as the closing party, want to just talk through that real quick?
Go ahead, Tara.
Okay, yeah, fly to museum. There will be like a 3D simulator. Of course, there will be drinks and food and drinks. And then, you know, there's a lot to do after that. So I think that the flight of museum, that's an experience, you know, not everybody, especially me being in, you know, Washington State on the coast, I've gone to different flight of museums, but it's not something everybody gets to experience. So I think it'll be pretty cool. And for those who are, you know, brave enough to do the flight simulator, also obviously to into the theme.
I did one of those at a previous conference on that boat, and maybe after several drinks, you can sit there and literally take that flight simulator and do barrel rolls. So,
And they didn't
good
have to
luck.
like close the simulator down for cleanup after you were done.
No, they didn't. But the person
Fair
that
question.
the co-pilot was not too thrilled with me. Whatever.
But yeah, that's pretty much the closing reception, which I think will be pretty fun. And then obviously Thursday morning, just kind of the wrap up and Bloody Marys, because I'm sure we'll need them after the Flight Museum.
Well,
Nope,
I gotta reiterate with, not only do we have a great lineup, but really, and I will say this, and I mentioned our bank has been only a member for 3 years. I've been a member of the association all the way back to UAEL as well for 20 years and brought the bank in. I cannot stress or say how important the networking connections are at these meetings. Not only do you connect from a great friendship basis, but from a professional basis, I've learned more, gotten more connections, gotten more sources, both when I've been on the selling side and on the funding side from these meetings. You can't underestimate how much you take away from that.
100%. Yeah, and I guess the other thing too, I mean, get there, but also get involved, because if you're just there to be there and you're not putting in the effort to, learn about how you can get involved, how you can help push the industry forward, you're probably not getting the value you could. I've gotten so much, to Marci's point, so much in return for what I give in. It's mind blowing. I'm thankful to the NEFA Association and to what it's given back to me. So don't just show up and participate and be there 100%.
Well, and also please, if there's anything that you thought should have been on the agenda when you're there, or like on the next agenda, having been on this planning committee, it is so appreciated to, even if it's outside of the box, you think it's something nobody else would want, let's still bring it up. We would love to make these, we want to continue to make these as on the nose as we can for everybody that's attending.
Nope. And for those people who are there for the first timer, make sure you hit up the first timers reception, because you'll see a bunch of newbies there, and you'll have industry veterans. I don't know if I like saying that to this people like yourselves that will be there and that can
Those
introduce them around.
Think for yourself, man.
Also, I just want to, as you brought that up with the first time attendees, and I do not have a count with how many first time attendees, and if you are a first time attendee, or if you're about to sign up to be one, please make a point to come and introduce yourself to either myself or Tara.
Yeah.
And if there's anybody you want to meet or anything that we can help you with, we are more than willing to do that.
100%.
Well, perfect. Well, I appreciate you two joining me this morning, and look forward to seeing you here in a couple weeks in San Diego.
Okay, looking forward to it.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.